Misha.
Nez!
And we are
Luxury
Unedited.
How are you, darling?
I'm good. How's
How
your
you
week been?
Oh, busy, let me tell you.
Yeah?
Very, very busy.
Busy bee.
It's good. Actually, what have you been up to?
An overwhelming amount of work, but
Which is
in a
great.
good way. In a good way.
That's good.
Interesting stuff.
It keeps us going in luxury, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Darling.
So, what are we talking about today?
Oh, this is a topic
Close to
that is very close to our hearts.
Well, close to my heart.
No, and my
I've
heart.
been
'cause,
really feeling it.
Let me just tell you, you look fantastic. I feel that. I just want to say we're no spring chickens. I mean, even though we only look 30, but we're having an issue here, and the issue is ageism in marketing.
And so what do we mean by that exactly? I mean, for me, it's really about the sort of negativity about aging and feeling completely invisible. The other thing is, you know, something we should be celebrating. It's less about anti-aging. It's more about pro-aging. I mean, I know it sounds a bit naff, okay, but I'm really up for this.
I'm up for looking better, not different.
I don't feel like we have a voice as women and men, but as women in particular, between a certain bracket of 35 to 55. We're without a voice. We're
Completely.
without, and guess what? This is where, you know, in terms of
Spending power.
this is where it's at.
Exactly. But I think a lot of people are missing out on that. I mean, I don't understand why to sell anything you have to have a half-naked 22-year-old lying across the bonnet of a car or a half-naked 22-year-old
Well, that
on
lipstick
everything.
is certainly not going to make me look like that.
Exactly. I mean, so for me, it's about representation.
But do you know, I mean, you're talking about representation. So I always touch on the US because it's just such a huge market in terms of retail and all the different categories within retail and lifestyle and beauty and everything else. And, you know, for the first time ever, they're saying like 65 and up are outnumbering 18 and below.
Wow.
That's 54% of the total
That's in the US.
wealth.
That's definitely not in our region. Right?
Household wealth. So that's where it sits.
Of course.
And if you imagine yourself, can you see anyone like that in the advertising? Can you see language used? I mean,
you know,
and the
no.
perception. I mean, look at like when people think of 50 and over.
Yeah, I mean, we're
J-Lo,
hello, exactly.
Late 40s, Shakira. When those two ladies were out there, they were killing it.
Absolutely. But how are they represented? They're not. That's the problem, right? They're what's considered the. But then if you look at Carrie Bradshaw, Jessica Parker,
I'm sorry,
she was slated
by you guys.
Yeah, come on, guys. We got to celebrate. If that's how everybody has a right to choose the way they want to age, and you know, I'm not saying that if you want to look like a blown up doll, that's completely your prerogative. Okay, with all these fillers and Botox and facelift, that's completely your prerogative. Okay, that's what you choose to do, but do not belittle the woman that wants to just do skincare.
What's a major demographic shift?
Yes.
So please respect that.
Exactly.
And please respect where the spend is coming from. And, you know, how I mean...
For me, what I don't like is, for instance, you've got these great skincare brands, right? And they're telling you about anti-aging serum and they're using a 28-year-old. Well, what the hell is that going to help me with, you know?
We were looking actually at a makeup artist the other day, weren't we?
Yes.
And we were like...
I love you, Pat McGrath. I've met you. I spent time with you. You're an amazing woman. Probably the best out there. But every time you apply makeup, it's onto a flawless girl's skin,
and we're wondering how the hell do we
do that on our aged,
pro-aged, beautiful, well-worn skin.
I'm very happy to have lived a life, and I'm quite happy that that's shown on my face. Anyway, but moving along, what I want to see is representation in everything. For instance, I mean, can I talk about Chanel?
Yeah.
So ever since the the sad passing of Karl Lagerfeld, who's been taken over by Virginie, I feel that the brand has tried to be a lot younger in the fashion. But who is the Chanel client? It's not really the 18 to 25 year
Definitely
old.
not, unless it's like the fragrance.
Okay, but in terms of the clothing, you're looking at the 30 plus, the 35 to 60 year old woman. She doesn't necessarily want to wear bra tops under everything or short shorts. And the cruise collection, for instance, in the last couple of years has only been geared at very young women with perfect bodies.
Is that because cruise is always seen as a collection anyway, within as a much more commercial way of representing a brand?
Yeah, maybe so, but you still have to have wearable clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, these.
I mean, I ain't wearing a crop top.
No, definitely not. I mean, I just wouldn't want to scare anyone else if I wore a crop top. But look, what about the language that's used?
I mean, this is why I keep on going on about pro-aging, not anti-aging. And funnily enough, I was approached by an aesthetic clinic, and I've always been very.
Are you going to become Nez?
But I've always become very anti, like, injectables and things like that, because it's funny. Because I think it's because, the way it's used in our society today, it changes the way people look. Yes. So it's all about, these Russian or Cupid or like whatever lips.
Yes.
I mean, I would look ridiculous. I don't want to look. Yeah, actually, maybe I could do with a bit of plumping up. But you know what? You've put me off so much, I ain't touching myself. So
please don't touch your lips. I just want to put it on record. I have never seen anyone who's done their lips and it looks good.
Natural, yeah. I want to look natural.
Even look good. It doesn't look good.
But no one's talking to me in the way that I want to be, spoken to. So when it comes to well-being,
which is gentle. I think we need to be gentle with ourselves. It doesn't have to be.
I'm accepting I'm growing older and my looks are changing, but there's certain issues I want to address. I mean, it's not just about injectables, it's about hair loss. Can we talk about hair loss for a minute?
Hair loss
it's
for
something
women.
my friends and I talk about all the time.
And that's the thing. They're not listening. I feel companies are not listening to conversations that you would have with your girlfriends nonstop. You do talk about the thinning hair. I mean, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, hello, what's happening here?
So many factors.
Yes.
I mean, it can be stress, it can be hormones. And listen, I know what you're all thinking. You're thinking menopause. Actually, no. So menopause is just the day after your very last period. Thank you very much. And you guys can be, and when I say you guys, not the guys necessarily, but the ladies amongst you, it's a conversation you need to have. Perimenopause can happen over 10 years. Now, yes. I only found out my mother went through menopause end of last year. You know how old she was?
No.
She was 41.
Wow.
So if we're going to be having these like self-awareness and positivity, I want to talk about these things. I want to see it. I mean, it's much more open now. People are talking about it much now. But I want
especially
to see
Davina McCall. Did you see that show that she did on perimenopause?
Oh, yeah.
It was actually fantastic, yeah.
But I don't want to see, like, if I were to have a daughter, I have a son, luckily. But if I were to have a daughter, I don't want her to be scared of growing older. I don't like the way that
well, I would ban all Kardashian things off her phone. They
have to look a certain way, right?
Well, but then again, it's a bit like the queuing outside. You're allowing that to happen. If we have put on a pedestal the ideal of a woman that has to look perfect. Like, honestly, if you see Khloe Kardashian from when she first came on the screens to now, that's two different women.
Yeah.
And, when they're pretending that this is all natural, or Kim Kardashian, nobody has a booty that size naturally. I mean, some maybe do, but I mean, it's ridiculous to pretend that this is a natural way. But how is that
booty going to look when you hit, like, your 40s and 50s?
But, they've hit 50s and it's constant work done. Good for them. They've made a career out of this. That's good for them. But that should not be given such a platform that girls attain to that girls want to start having work done at the age of 14, 15, 16. You haven't even grown into your face yet. I beg you, just give yourself time, you know. And I have a few friends that I don't even recognize anymore. And that's sad. They were beautiful girls to start out with, and now they've done so many things. Listen, I am the biggest advocator for taking care of your skin, for Morpheus, for some people do Profilo. It didn't work. It wasn't great for me. But using the absolute best skincare that you can. I mean, very recently, I definitely advocated for Augustin Espadar and his serum. It's made a difference to my skin, so I will share that with people. Okay, I do the hydrofacials. I do the massages, do the face gym, take care. I just don't want fillers.
But don't you think it's funny that actually, as our ages sort of add up, we get older, that we're in many ways a lot more confident.
Absolutely.
Yet, we're completely invisible, like in the outside world. If you were an alien to come down, you're going to look at all the marketing that the brands or well-being or that you see in the malls or wherever you might see advertising. I really want to understand, why is it that they're not talking to us? Is it because, most of the employees now in advertising are under the age of 30 and they just don't understand what's coming out? Well, come and have a conversation with us, because, listen, in the household, we're the ones that are going out and spending with the disposable income.
And we are spending.
And we're making, a lot of the time, the decisions on where the income goes.
Exactly. The other thing is that you've got brands feeling that they want to do the right thing, but instead of using an unknown model or something like that, they think, okay, we're going to address this by using a famous person who's obviously had a lot of work done, and to address that age issue. There are a couple of companies now that are using models that are a little bit older, in their 40s. But
why have they all got grey hair?
Exactly. And why have they all had a tremendous amount of work done? Why can't we embrace both sides? Because there are many women that don't want to go down the route of... and men, exactly. And it's...
But so they always go, oh, yeah. I mean, if you look at George Clooney, for example.
Yeah.
Hi, George.
Hi, George.
Everyone's
Nez.
like, fine wine. He's like, fine wine.
Yeah.
If it was a woman his age. I mean,
She's
look
like,
at Madonna. Look,
yeah.
when she came out to the show. No, I know you feel like... But...
Madonna scares me. People do not do that at home.
No,
Madonna
I mean, she
scares
can do
me.
whatever she wants.
Yeah.
But why... She's just announced a major tour.
Yes.
That we're all like uber excited about. Well, you might not.
Well,
I am.
not, yeah.
I am,
Really?
because she's changed the face of music. Okay,
Yeah.
she is an icon in terms of popular culture.
Yeah.
She major shifts,
Yeah.
right? And she's always been changing the way she looks. So why are they focused on her appearance at an awards show rather than focusing on all her achievements?
Look, her achievements are something I understand. She looked scary. She didn't look like Madonna.
But do you think do you think that's because she's been pushed into a corner where, like we're talking about, you have to have to have smooth skin to be able to sell. You have to. You know what I mean?
I think,
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, honey. But I think that's her and her own demons. I think also when you're in the public eye, you do... Anyway, Madonna's always been different. Right?
She's always been different. That.
We celebrate that, but then on the one hand, I mean, you can't say that for me was too much of a change. I mean, I personally was scared.
But maybe she was pushed into a corner, and this is what I mean,
Yes.
about rather that she felt she could not be doing what she's doing unless she had smooth, baby soft skin.
Yeah,
You know
maybe.
what I mean?
I don't.
If society allowed us to grow gracefully, like you mentioned Carrie,
Yeah,
right?
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Sarah Jessica Parker, and the vitriol that was thrown at her
It was horrendous.
because she's like, but I'm getting older. I am enjoying it. I don't want to change my skin. My skin is going to change.
Yes. Yeah. But also, so then how do we address that marketing?
Well, again, you know, like it's about communication, it's about dialogue, it's about understanding the market. I mean, so many research studies go into this. Why is no one listening?
Are you listening?
I mean, there are platforms out there. A friend of mine has a platform called Bella Plume, and it's looking at the woman who is of that demographic, who, you know, does have a family, does work, is happy with her life. You know, she doesn't want to be a new person. She wants to be the same person. She
wants to be recognizable to her children.
She doesn't. She wants to have a voice.
Yeah.
You know, there are things that are now coming up, but I just feel that it's like a little bit too late, maybe for me. But
never too late, guys. It's never too late.
I just find it. I think also I've changed the way I'm thinking. I think probably last year I did feel incredibly invisible.
I'm sorry to hear that, Nez. You've always been very visible to me, my friend. But let me tell you, let's be honest, right? The women that we are, particularly for women, the women that we are in our 20s is not the women we are in our 30s, definitely not the women that we are in our 40s. And we have very different opinions about how we want to age, where we want to go. And I mean, for me, looks are way down on the... I feel like I need to achieve more, not with my face.
That's
with my brain,
that's
with my
probably
growth.
a whole other topic, right?
Yeah.
Because this whole thing, which is another topic for another show, but the whole influencer marketing, the social media, and the impact it has on not just young kids, but the likes of you and me.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I tend to. If you looked at my Explore page, besides watches and jewelry, you will never find anything that is. That's about anti-aging, that's about, you know, changing the way you look, or that. You'll never find anything Kardashian related.
Who's our role model?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think
who my role model is.
I mean, yeah, we have, in terms of, you know, I mean, I have my role models in terms of writers and,
yes,
you know, serious journalists and all of that. But in terms of, you know, the more sort of fun, even when I'm watching a TV show,
yeah,
there aren't these actresses where I feel, okay, we all love Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen. I love Angelina Jolie as well, so if we're just going the Team Brad, Team Jen. I don't like Angelina Jolie for some things, but her what she does for philanthropy.
I'm still upset about that.
Yeah, it's all right. Brad, I don't know. I blame Brad.
Yeah, so I mean.
So what can we do? What should we? Okay, besides communication, you know, what would you like to see? Personally, I would like to see regular models, not famous actresses, that are put into, you know, as campaigns. You know, you've got these, I'm not going to mention the hair company that does a campaign with women, different ages, but they only use very famous women that have had the best hair care, that have had, you know, the best stylists, that have had work done. You know, give me somebody relatable.
I don't mind that, though. I don't mind a little bit of aspiration.
Of course, aspiration is fine, but not someone that doesn't look like they did 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Fine. That I agree with. So, should we go into some of the comments?
Questions. And the comments. Yes, there were some very good comments on this, I thought.
This is our top 5.
I'm going to let you answer a few of these. You can answer.
Are you really?
Yeah, I am.
So, actually, this comes to what you were just literally talking about. So, number 1, too focused on using models that are way younger than their main target audience.
Absolutely. I mean, come on. You are selling a face cream, an anti-aging face cream, and you're using a 28-year-old. She doesn't need an anti-aging face cream. Her skin is already fantastic. In fact, you know, my skin was fantastic literally about 3 years ago, and then everything went, and I didn't use anything for a long time. But be real. For certain brands, please try and be real. Come to us, and, you know, we want to see a wrinkle. I don't want to be wrinkle-free.
I think it's about normalization, right? So the more we see women with natural skin that's not completely, like, smoothed out and done, the minute we'll start accepting, you know, and I
Yeah,
think
and
it's
maybe this
really
can-
important for generations that are coming up that are massacred by social media in terms of they're so focused on the way they look.
So I have friends that have daughters. I have boys, touch wood, thank you God. But I have friends that have daughters and teenage daughters, and they are struggling all the time. They struggle with their skin, with the way they look. They want their nose changed. They want their lips filled. And they're having severe body issues as well, you know. I don't know where we're going with this. I don't know where we're going to end up with
I would
this.
just like there to be less extremes, maybe. So
Yeah.
even in terms of the advertising, I can't relate to, even the regional advertising. They use very young. I mean, I know the demographics in the region is actually very different because we have, you know, I think it's something like 75% of the Middle East is under the age of 35.
Yeah.
So it's a different demographic, but still, however, the spend is with the woman aged between 35 and 55.
Of course.
So,
And trust me, you know, the young girls can't afford these creams.
no, but I just look at this stuff and I'm like, you know what? The way it's styled, the way it's, you know, whether you like it or not, your body is going to change.
Of course.
You know, that there's things
It's
that
realism.
I just can't. Yeah, so I end up not being
Like you
turned
said,
off by it. I
But
think.
not just turned off. I was just thinking about what you asked. I don't have a role model.
Yeah.
I really don't.
We're going to have to think about
We're going to
this,
have to think
guys.
about this one. Send us your role models.
Yeah.
You know? Next, my darling, give me number 2.
Next. Now, this I loved because I also know who the woman that commented on this. And, you know, she's a great force within her industry. And she's saying, men age and continue to be sexy and powerful. The discourse for women is so different. So in terms of the language that's used, in terms
But I
of how
also
we're
think
perceived,
women are harder on each other,
we seem to become invisible.
which is what
It's
you said,
interesting that she's used the same word. Yeah. Or need to look 25. Again, like,
God, I don't want to look 25.
I don't want to look 25.
I don't want to be 25.
Also, ironically, when you're 25, you're so much less confident.
If you could go back to any age, what would it be?
I'm happy as I am, quite honestly.
I mean, I'd
Listen, all my friends in their 40s, they think that just wait till they get to their late 40s. The last few years of your late 40s are tough.
You know.
But no, I can. I'm not someone that can ever look back. Yeah, I mean, there's probably some things that I regret, but I can't because it's just who I am. All I can think about is moving forward, looking at ways of improving, like either myself or the way I feel, or my family, or friends, or whatever. But I try not to look back.
Yeah, no, I get that. But for me,
What was your favourite age?
focus.
12.
Maybe 39.
39.
39 was great.
Actually,
39 and 40. 39
Enjoy your
and when I hit
30s.
40 is
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
But let me tell you, I'm strange. My looks don't come into anything. I focus about where I want to be. I'm at a stage whereby I feel like I want to be doing more. Is this it, Misha? This is, come on, let's achieve something else.
What's
I've
the
always
next
wanted
thing?
to be, but I've always been someone that's wanted to work, that's wanted to use her brain, that wanted to develop. My priority is my family and then my personal growth. Really, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not in the market to look for anyone else, so as long as I look decent and presentable, it's fine.
Exactly,
I don't want to
kind of better you. But, however much we like to, be these strong women, it's
Oh, yeah, when you look around, you feel...
and think, I'm not thin enough, or, I've got a little bit here, or, I'm beginning to feel a bit slopey.
Yes. Skincare. I'm a real advocate for skincare and luxury
real
skincare.
advocate for surgery.
Listen, and all I will tell you is please invest in the best skincare that you can. That's it.
And if you're going to do it properly.
Yeah.
Don't try and change the way you look or just improve. Anyway, so next question, number 3, bing. After 40, I'm the most confident I've ever been and don't give two bleeps about what others think. It's been liberating. Yes! Yes, you. I like you.
And I agree, because that was the age whereby you think, you know what, this is me, I don't care.
There's some 20-year-olds listening to this going,
40? I've got, well, how old are you? Listen, it's about walking into that room and not thinking, oh, will anyone like me? It's that, you know what, will I like anyone else?
Letting go. Let go of all that stuff.
It's very hard. Stop overthinking and start letting go.
Start living.
Live and let live. And
but
if you do want the nose job, get the nose job.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm all for that. I'm coming to that doctor in New York. He's going to give me a whole life.
What's he got? But you just said you want to advocate. What are you going to do with the doctor in New York? And why haven't you given me his number? Although I'm too scared. I am a scaredy cat when it comes to general anesthetic.
I'll tell you the best bit. He does it all under twilight anesthesia, so you're actually sort of semi-awake.
No.
Yes.
I need his number. Guys, if you want his number, write in.
We're not friends.
We're
he doesn't
not
even know.
He doesn't know she exists.
I'm obsessed with him.
Really?
But yeah, why not?
Yeah.
You know, I want to grow old gracefully.
Yeah.
Disgracefully, sorry. I want to be like Joan Collins and Jackie Collins.
Oh, they were wild.
Like...
Joan looks fantastic. Who else looks fantastic? No. I
want
to look like Jane Fonda. Come on, man.
Yeah, but
she looks fantastic.
Jane still looks the way, but she's had work.
And J-Lo, darling, J-Lo. We all know it's not olive oil. Come on, you're a bit like Hermes sales assistants at this point.
Yeah, I love it. She's found love again.
Yes, and people are very mean about her and Ben, but I say go for it. Next.
Life's too short.
Lives. Tell me.
Oh, we've got two.
Oh.
Yeah, so number 4, bing, bing, bing. People with real spending power don't like noise.
Oh, I love this.
What's IMO
in my opinion.
Oh, sorry.
For goodness gracious, girl, get with the program. I love this person who wrote this.
Like a millennial
and it is true. And actually, people with proper wealth also don't like a lot of noise like that. You know, the ones that want to just show everything or you know, they don't want, okay, let's buy the Tiffany sneakers. I mean, what a collaboration that was. I mean, really, Tiffany and Nike, I'm sorry, but it is horrendous. That, you know, you have this collaboration and they want it and it's seen on this and that. People that want to buy Tiffany, it's an elegant product. It's moving far away from being that elegant product. You understand?
It's got away noise. From the nostalgia.
Yeah. I mean, it's just got noise around it. It's all about hype. It's all about, I mean.
But then again, come on, look at the brands with like LV and Pharrell and, you know.
Yeah.
I saw a really interesting comment.
Yes.
From a designer saying, you know, people at the head of design big brands now don't know what they're doing. Hence why the hoodie and a T-shirt is a luxury purchase.
Yeah. You can't disagree with that. I mean, you know, I get why they put Pharrell as the head of that. Virgil was big shoes to fill because he created something at LV that they hadn't had before. However, there's a lot of people that
But people also criticised him back in the day.
Yeah, of course.
Because,
God rest his soul.
You know, they said he didn't create
a lot of stuff.
Look at old Tom Ford. He's not necessarily a designer as such.
Yeah.
Designer maker.
No. He's a designer maker.
Pattern,
yes.
Not
No, he's not a pattern cutter. But
like,
that's fine for me. That can evolve. And Pharrell, I understand why they're doing it. They're doing it for the hype. They're doing it for the noise.
Anyway,
I mean, it's created a lot of noise.
Get a little lost on
Okay, yes, sorry. Yes. So that's yes.
So, number 5. Bing, bing, bing.
Last but not least.
Misha. Tell me. Let's see what it says. They forget how powerful women from 35 to 55 are in terms of spend.